All right, it is Monday, March 24th, 2025, and thank you for waking up with Wesley. I'm Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams. Of course, this is a morning that Mother Nature might be waking some of you up because we've got some showers and storms in the area, severe thunderstorm watch with some warnings in parts of the region. So we're going to take a very close look at that. And there's a potential that even though we are doing this live update on streaming, that at some point here, if we get enough warnings, we might have to take it to television. But for now, we're only on streaming. And so we'll get to some of this information. The first thing I want to do is start off, and you're going to hear some noises too, because I got to hear my notifications in case we're getting some warnings. So apologies if you're hearing notification sounds, but that's the only way I'm going to be able to keep an eye on if warnings pop up. So anyway, we're starting off with some views of the coast. It looks like it's pretty cloudy. You got some dark, ominous clouds over the coastline there in Gulfport. And take a look over in Biloxi by the IP Casino Resort and Spa. It is raining there over Back Bay right now. And take a look at places near downtown Biloxi. Also seeing showers coming down near the Beau Rivage in Biloxi. And we also have a view at Gulfport Champion Jeep Ram at I-10 and 605. Showing that rain. Before we get to the radar, just a couple of more views to help paint the picture, and you saw that lightning flash there. But to help to paint the picture, some of our viewers have been sending us pictures, and we appreciate that when you can do so safely. So what I've done here, I've popped up our website where you can see them, where you can submit them, either on our website or at WLOX, or in our WLOX weather app. And here's our website. This is the home page right here. You click at the top right, top left rather. And if you click this weather button right there, then you're taken to the weather page. You can read the latest forecast, get the latest video, latest conditions, and the hour-by-hour forecast that I personally customize all 48 hours of for your specific location every morning. So I really appreciate it when you look at that hour-by-hour forecast. I got a lot of work goes into that every morning. But this little box over here is where we're getting these pictures submitted to us from viewers. So I'm going to try to see if we can take a look at some of these. This is a picture from the Pascagoula River. Sam showing us this one. I wonder if I can make this a little bit bigger. There you go. You can see, looks like a rainy scene near the Pascagoula River this morning. Let's see what else we got. This is a stormy picture from Danny 7 minutes ago. Let's blow that one up. Yeah, it looks definitely pretty stormy there. Look at the little water tower, or possible water tower there at the bottom right, just completely looking very minuscule compared to those giant storm clouds up above. We got this picture from Heather, Pascagoula River Bridge. You can see this picture there. Might be very difficult to take that picture while driving. Always be careful and drive safely. But you can see those dark storm clouds. I think might have seen multiple ones. Here's another picture from Heather. You can see those dark storm clouds there. This could be basically a shelf cloud. We're looking at the back edge of a shelf cloud. This would be the front edge of it. This is a picture from, I think, Dee. I shared this one on social a little while ago. And this area right here, kind of the leading edge of that shelf cloud that rolled into the coast this morning. And then what you're seeing behind, look at how tiny these buildings are on the coast compared to the giant storm clouds that are hanging out overhead. So again, just wanted to paint that picture for you before we get things started with the weather update information. And of course, always appreciate our viewers sending those pictures to us. So the big picture here on the map is a cool front that's going to be stalling across the region. And we are seeing showers and thunderstorms developing along this front. It's been two areas of rain that have kind of collided basically right on top of us. You've got this area of showers and storms that have moved in from the north, from Jackson, but you've also had this area of showers and storms that have kind of moved in from the west, from near Houston. And unfortunately, it's kind of a collision of those two areas right on top of portions of Louisiana and coastal Mississippi. And so that has led to a lot of attention on our part of the map. You will notice with this, what I've done is we are showing where the warnings are. We have these orange boxes indicating severe thunderstorm warnings that are about to clip into our viewing area. There's also one over Mobile. But I've also shown where there are some reports of wind with this. And so you'll notice the stuff coming out of Hattiesburg, no reports of wind. But the stuff coming out of Lake Charles, Baton Rouge, that's where we're getting those reports. Let me pause this. I would like to take a closer look at some of those reports. Start over by Lake Charles. What is this storm capable of? What has it been doing? As it moves into our area, I think it's a good idea to find that out. So near Lake Charles, we have a report of a large tree that was downed through the roof of a house. Oh my goodness, in Sulphur. So how about that? You wake up to a tree down right through your roof. That's what's happening this morning, or what happened this morning near Lake Charles. What about these? This is near Lafayette, Louisiana. To the north of there, we had a roof partially lifted from a trailer home. You've got, what else going on? Looks like a tree through the middle of a home or structure. Numerous power outages. So that's what these storms are capable of. And they continue to move our way. So if we put this back into motion, you'll notice it's kind of making a beeline right for our coast. From Lake Charles, through Lafayette, toward Baton Rouge, and then right toward the Mississippi coast. That's why I'm very closely tracking that area, and so is the Storm Prediction Center. Let me reset this for my camera on my map, but they're tracking this closely. The Storm Prediction Center highlighting the Mississippi coast under a level 2 out of 5 risk of damaging storms today. That's new. They upgraded us this morning within the last hour. You also find a severe thunderstorm watch until 11 a.m. for parts of South Mississippi. That's also something new this morning. If you're just waking up, we broke that news live on Good Morning Mississippi during the 5 or 6 o'clock hour. Hard to remember, but I know it was during this morning's show that we had that watch issued for the local area. And you might want to recall the difference between a watch and a warning. A severe thunderstorm watch means, hey, be prepared, have a plan. Severe thunderstorms are possible. But a warning means it's happening now. Take action to protect property and save lives. So the watch means be prepared, have a plan. The warning means take action now, get to safety, get to shelter. And when we see, or if we see some of those warnings issued for the area this morning, you want to pay attention to that. It's a good idea to have our First Alert weather app handy in case you see those. Now, this is a look at the Futurecast, which will show wet and stormy conditions throughout this morning. Now through 10 o'clock this morning, I expect an increase in the rain coverage locally. And so we will see even more areas picking up rain and thunderstorms between right now and 10 o'clock this morning. If you're somewhere where it hasn't been raining very much so far this morning, that will change within the next 90 minutes. For pretty much all of us, we are expecting to see a very high chance, 80% or higher, showers and storms. Some could be severe. This continues through late this morning, 11 a.m., still seeing some showers and storms across the whole area, basically. Continuing through noon, continuing through 1 p.m. as well. And then after 1 p.m., we could begin to see some of this moving out of the area, closing in on 2, 3, and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Conditions might improve by that point in time. So put it all together for you. That's the main headlines: a wet and possibly stormy morning, and then drying out this afternoon. And then a question mark about, will it turn very windy at some point today? Regardless of thunderstorms or not, there's a potential for some strong winds in the area. It could just turn into a windy day, basically, for some of us. But it's a kind of a conditional thing. So there's a chance of that happening, and as a result, we have a wind advisory issued for the area until 4 p.m. We can see winds around 40 miles an hour sustained with higher gusts. This is because a wake low is possibly going to develop in the area, and a wake low is what happens when you have we've seen these several times in South Mississippi over the past years I've been here, and it's a very sudden thing where you get all these showers, heavy rain, really heavy rain and thunderstorms, and then all of a sudden, as the rain is coming to an end, the winds really ramp up. The winds really increase significantly. Wow, I just saw 78 mile an hour wind gusts reported in Baton Rouge, by the way. So these storms can mean business. But anyway, that was a thunderstorm wind, which is separate from a wake low wind. A wake low wind is something that happens after the storms are done. So the question is, wake lows are very unpredictable. Wake lows are very difficult to tell if they're actually going to happen or not. You pretty much don't know a wake low is going to happen until it's happening. So that's why this wind advisory is coming out, because it is expected to happen, but you can't really know what's really going to happen until it actually happens. And we'll see whether it happens or not. That possibility is there. As the rain is coming to an end, the winds might really increase, and it just becomes a windy day for multiple hours for parts of South Mississippi. So let's go back to the warnings map, and we'll kind of time out this cluster. It'll be one of the last things we do before I go. And if we get any new warnings, of course, we'll break into streaming and television. But let's time out this cluster of storms, this sort of squall line. So let's pause the map, pause the radar. The area that I'm wanting to time out, look, I know it's already raining here. We're not talking about that. There haven't been any warnings with the stuff that's already been happening here. So while, yes, it is raining, and for some of you it is storming, I'm less concerned about what's happening now and more concerned about what's to come. And what's to come is this area right over here that has blown through Lake Charles, blown through Baton Rouge, blown through Lafayette area and Hammond, Louisiana, and now it's knocking on the doorstep of Pearl River County. If we turn off the lightning, you can even see how it's shaped like a bow and arrow rather. Let me draw that on the screen for you. You have this bow shape. And whenever you see that with the radar showing that type of imaging with thunderstorms or a squall line of thunderstorms, it indicates a really strong wind threat. And the strongest winds in a Boeing echo is what this is basically called, Boeing radar echo. The strongest winds are always located near the apex of the bow, which is a fancy word for the middle of the bow. So that would be in this zone here, would be where you find some of the strongest winds that are probably hitting Slidell and about to move into areas near the Louisiana-Mississippi line. So what we want to do is time out when that's going to move, when that bow is going to move over the Mississippi coast. And in order to do that, I have to know how fast it's moving. So let's click on this warning that's currently in place for Mandeville. I'm reading. I see that it is moving eastward at 50 miles an hour, moving east-northeastward at 50 miles an hour. So it's actually speeding up. I mean, the whole line of storms is moving at 50 miles an hour. Now that I know that, I can adjust the speed of my timer. So let's move that and time it out at 50 miles an hour. And now we can draw and track. In order to do that, let's put it in some motion so I can know a general idea of how I want to draw this. I think I want to draw it starting up here, coming down, and now let's move it eastward like that. So now you have some timing, a rough estimate, timing information of when to expect this squall line that has produced wind damage in Louisiana and Texas, when we can expect that to move onto the Mississippi coast. And again, these times, I know they're down to the minute, but don't take it as, the gospel or whatever, but it is a rough estimate. So give yourself plus or minus 15 minutes is what I'm saying, a margin of error. So we are looking at this getting into New Orleans area sometime around 9:30, getting into the Kiln sometime around 9:15 to 9:45 this morning, Waveland before 10 o'clock this morning, Gulfport sometime between 9:45 and 10:15 this morning, D'Iberville, Biloxi sometime between 10 o'clock and 10:30 this morning, Pascagoula sometime between 10:15 and 10:45 this morning. So that's something that we're going to keep a very close eye on for you this morning. And if that does pop off warnings in the area, we will attempt to bring that breaking information to you, whether I am actually talking to you on the screen or you're seeing that little box at the top with the map in it and the words on the screen. You will know by watching us on TV the information of the warnings. You can also, of course, have our First Alert weather app on your phone or your tablet. and maybe we will, of course, bring that information to you that way as well. Well, that'll do it for my update this morning. Thank you for waking up with Wesley. Try to stay safe from the thunderstorms and the possibility of strong wind today. We'll catch you next time.